Welcome back to my official podcast. This is Gaurav, and the match has just finished now, and India have managed to beat New Zealand by 7 wicket, and obviously have won this series. So we will have definitely a detailed discussion on today's match with none other than one of our favorite guests, Michael Wagner, who's all the way from the New Zealand. Obviously, there is a timing issue, and guys, the difference between the Indian and the New Zealand, the time. But Michael Wagner still managed to find out a little time for our show. So, Michael Wagner, welcome to the show, and thank you for managing the time for our show.
You're welcome. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So, where should we start from? Obviously, I know there will be a lot of complaint about the dew, isn't it?
Oh, no, the conditions are what the conditions are. I guess the disappointing thing for New Zealand is that as the ball got older, it got harder to play to bat against. Much harder to bat against as the ball got older. So New Zealand did really well at the start, and then the ball just got really hard to play against. In India's innings, after about 10 overs, the umpires decided to change the ball. And in the 6 overs after that, India scored at a strike rate of 14. The game was over at that point. Once they got a nice easy ball to play against, the game was over. Bit disappointing that the umpires decided to change the ball in one innings and not in the other. I think that's unfortunate.
Okay. And once you start the discussion about the New Zealand batting, Martin Guptill again, he loves to score against the India no matter what, isn't it?
Oh, look, I mean, going into this series, people were saying, why is he being picked? He can't score in Asia. Turns out he can. It turns out actually that he can't score in Asia. He won't score any runs in India. Doesn't actually hold water. He's done all right. And he's now the top run scorer in T20 cricket. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about Daryl Mitchell?
Oh, look, I mean, Daryl Mitchell did pretty well today. Maybe a little bit slow, but he started to bat a little bit. Yeah, he batted on a little bit longer as the ball started to get harder to play. But we got to see again. I mean, he's a quality player. You don't become the top run scorer in domestic cricket in New Zealand a couple of years in a row without being able to play, be able to bat. And I mean, he was doing that from batting at number 4. So opening the batting means he's getting to see slightly harder ball. It seems to be working well for him. It'll be interesting to see how he goes in a pitch that's maybe a little bit more spicy. It's got a little bit more zip in it. Maybe they might put him back down the order in those sort of conditions. But he's looking pretty good at the moment.
Yes. Let's discuss about the man who does 800 push-ups in a day, Glenn Phillips.
Yeah.
How well he batted today?
I thought he was okay. I mean, he was batting at a time where it was difficult to bat, and so and like he was looking pretty good. He was looking pretty solid. That he'll be disappointed with the shot he got out to, because he actually had he was starting to make some good progress and starting to it looked like he was starting to see the ball pretty well. And then he just hit the ball down the throat of a fielder and a ball that he shouldn't have done that to. He really should have placed that better. It's one of the cardinal sins of if you're going for the ball too hard, it's the easiest place to hit it is directly to square leg. You have to actually deliberately hit it in front or behind. And he just played the natural shot, hit it straight to square leg and got caught. It's something that every batsman's done and every batsman will continue to do. It's a very easy place to hit the ball and a very easy place to get out.
New Zealand is certainly missing the services of Devon Conway, isn't it? What he has done wrong in the T20 World Cup, smashing the bat with his hand, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what a terrible way to get injured out of a series. How do you get out? I just punched my bat and through my batting glove, I managed to break my hand. It's just incredibly bad luck.
And where should Tim Shepard bat, according to you, Michael? I think he's struggling in the middle order, isn't it?
Well, I've pulled his stats, and I was surprised. He averages something like 50 at a strike rate of 170 when he's batting at round 5 and 6. He averages about 20 at a strike rate of about 115 opening the batting. So he should definitely not be at the top. I'm not sure where he should be. Perhaps I know Glenn Phillips has got a bad back and is really valuable in the outfield, but he's a really good keeper too. And maybe if we had an extra batsman in rather than Seifert, maybe we'd have a better balance to the side.
Don't talk about the keepers, mate. In the New Zealand team, I just try to count out how many keepers you have in this team. Devon Conway is not there. I think Glenn Phillips is also a keeper. Tim Seifert is a keeper. There are lots of multi-dimensional player in the New Zealand team, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you look through, I mean, we've got a few guys that are occasional keepers that are quite good. I mean, Tom Latham's actually an outstanding keeper. He's there for the test team. He's in the test squad is hanging out with the team. Maybe he should be keeping. He's very good against spin and very good coming in the middle overs in a T20 match. So that he'd be a better option than Seifert, I think. But I can see long term they sort of see Seifert as a McCullum type player, and that's what they're looking for. The thing with Seifert is he looks rubbish, and then he has a good day and he scores 100 off 50 balls, and you just go, oh wow, he's amazing, and then he goes back to looking rubbish again, and you just have to think, well, we put up with 3 or 4 bad innings to have the amazing ones that happen every now and then.
Okay, talking about rubbish and what have went wrong with Jimmy Neesham? I mean, he struggled today, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think it was in terms of with the bat or with the ball. He didn't look great with the ball.
I'm talking about with the bat. He didn't finish well, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I mean, I felt like he came in at a time where the bowlers were on top, and he never really, it's a sort of pitch where it's hard to start. But yeah, he didn't look good at all. I wonder whether or not he wasn't quite over his sickness or something. But yeah, 3 off 12 is not really what you expect from Jimmy Neesham.
Let's talk about the Indian bowlers. Again, Ravichandran Ashwin was quite remarkable today, isn't it?
Oh, look, I mean, he's a wonderful bowler, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know if you saw the piece I wrote for First Post, but it's in by myself here. But one of the things I love with Ashwin is that he uses the test match sort of bowling repertoire. I'll just keep talking, hoping that this is being broadcast and people are hearing me. That he uses all of his skills, the drift that he gets, the fact that with a wet ball that's hard to bowl with, he managed to still keep control. I mean, he's just a wonderful bowler, and it's nice to see him back in white ball cricket.
Yes, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar is again struggling and not contributing a lot with the ball. His place has always been questioned in the recent times. Once we look at the Indian fast bowling attack in the white ball format, what do you want to add with the Bhuvneshwar Kumar? He again struggled.
I didn't think he was that bad, actually. I mean, he was the standout bowler in the last match, I thought.
I'm talking about in today's match. I think he conceded 39 runs in the 4 over.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, there was.
And don't forget, he didn't play the entire T20 World Cup today also.
Yeah,
I think if you look at the T20 World Cup, he played only 1 match against the Pakistan, and the rest of them, I think he was dropped.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think he's a regular scapegoat. When India does badly, he tends to get dropped, even regardless of how he did. But I thought he bowled quite well. I mean, there were 4s come off edges. You look at that and you go, well, that could have gone to hand. That could have been a catch. He would have been the hero. It goes past. Same Tim Southee. I mean, I look at Tim Southee. He went for. There was at one point in his first over, it went for 8 runs, but there was 6 runs off an edge and 1 run off a wide that shouldn't have been a wide that hit the pad. That was an outstanding over, but it went for 8. And Boovy's first over that went for 13 or 14 or something.
Yes.
He actually had it was actually the batsmen were not in control for all of those deliveries, and you go, well, he's gone for a lot of runs, but it wasn't through bad bowling. He was bowling actually with hardest conditions.
Yes. And about the Axar Patel, the left-arm bowler, he was again. He has been performing very well. Once he plays the IPL through against the with the team Delhi Capitals, and Harshal Patel, the debutant. I think he was quite magnificent
He was
today, isn't it?
Harsha Patel was outstanding. I mean, I thought,
Yes.
especially with a wet ball, I mean, you could see he was
Yeah.
struggling to grip it. And so he just changed up his
Yeah.
game. And you could see it was a guy who's played a lot of domestic cricket. He knows the
Yes.
conditions, knows how to just go, oh, things are not like sometimes the guys that play international get pampered a little bit. Yeah, they always have the
Yeah.
best conditions, whereas the guys that play a lot of domestic have to deal with things not being quite right. And so when things aren't perfect, some of those guys actually handle it better. And he did that. He really stepped up. You could tell it was a guy that has played, 7 or 8 years of, I think he debuted in 2012. So what's that? 9 years of domestic cricket. Yeah, you could sort of see that experience. He didn't come in looking like a fresh newbie. He came in like someone who knew his game, knew how to play. And that was good to see. I thought his use of slow balls and the ability to change it up and disguise it was really good. The ability to, I think, I'd have to watch it again closely, but it looked like he was dropping a little bit in his front knee as a different kind of slow ball. It's something I haven't seen an international bowler do, where the way he was using his front leg was you can
Yes.
change how fast you bowl considerably by how braced your front leg is. And it seemed that, it may have just been a glitch on my screen. I didn't really watch it closely, but I noticed it looked like he was bowling a slow ball without actually changing his arm speed or his grip or anything. It was just coming out slower, and I think it may have been to do with how he was landing his front leg. Now that's incredibly hard for a batsman to pick up. That's a really good skill
Yes.
if that's what it was. So I'll be interested to watch his development.
Okay. Obviously, let's talk about the Indian batsmen once again. Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul did manage to give a flying start for Indian team, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they had a pretty good start. They were solid. I mean,
Yeah.
they were scoring at a reasonable rate until they were going at 7 and over, and they'd both given up a chance before that ball got
Yeah.
changed. And then once that ball
Yeah.
got changed, when was it? It was Santner's third over when he came in, and New Zealand were on top at that point, even though India hadn't lost any wickets. And then all of a sudden, once they got the slightly harder ball, they really capitalised. And there are two things that needed in every T20 match. You've got to be good enough and lucky enough. India were both. They had the little bit of luck go their way, and then they were good enough to capitalise. When New Zealand had a little bit of luck, they maybe weren't good enough to capitalise on it. And that's that's the thing. New Zealand dropped some catches, and they had the things go their way, and they didn't take advantage of it. And that's really where cricket is. It's little moments that make a big difference.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. I think we are done for today. Obviously, I know the timing issues against the between the India and the New Zealand. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. Hope we will meet in the third T20 second.
Brilliant. We'll catch you then.
Yeah. Till then, guys, do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Till then, we will meet on Sunday. Thank you, guys.